Well, a team in the Ottawa Senators who are as mid gets were on the second leg of the most difficult back-to-back in the National Hockey League today, Springer. They played late last night in Utah, lost 3-1, and they tried to trot out the same exact goaltender that played last night, and it did not go well for them. 6 second-period goals for the Avalanche, 4-point nights from Nathan MacKinnon and Josh Manson, including a Gordie Howe hat trick for the Manimal. 8-2 is the final as the Avs absolutely hammer Ottawa in a get-right game.
Bro, I'm going to steal the words from Eric Johnson, who, since you were doing network post-game show on Altitude 92.5 tonight and on the Altitude Sports Radio Network.
Sports.
I'm going to steal the words from Eric Johnson, who I was able to watch. I was able to watch some of the Avs post-game show on Altitude TV on Channel 20. So this game was on network television. KCBD. This is like the most, you're on Channel 20, you're on Channel 4, 7, 9, 31, or 13, whatever it might be. 2, 3, the network. Like, I got an antenna at my place, like the most basic. And for your mom, okay? These channels are for your mom. That's what these channels are for. It's the most like, yo, don't fucking swear on these fucking channels. And you want to know what Eric Johnson does on the post-game show? He comes on Channel 20, which is going to play like reruns of Chicago MD or PD, whatever the fuck it is, later tonight. Eric Johnson comes on Channel 20 and he says, the Avs just beat the shit out of the Senators.
Oh, there's nothing better than Eric Johnson. He was great on the broadcast.
Dude,
he and
so
Connor
good.
were having so much fun. He's such a pro and such a fit like a glove. It's unbelievable how good EJ is. For him to have that come out of his mouth immediately, it's true. They beat the shit out of Ottawa. They took the gas off, or the foot off the gas in the third period. Mads Søgaard, who is, by the way, he's not new to going into a situation where he's getting shelled. The first time I remember watching Mads Søgaard was in the World Junior Championship when he was playing for Denmark, and they had to go up against Canada, and they lost like 14-0. And Søgaard, despite having like 14 goals scored on him, played pretty damn well. So he's done this before. He made some big time saves. That could have been like a 12-2 game.
No, I mean, that was a fucking beatdown. I mean, that was, and you say the Senators are mid, and I say a lot of teams are mid. Look, Brady Tkachuk, Team USA. Jake Sanderson, Team USA. Claude Giroux, man, what would have happened in an alternate universe that he decided to accept the trade to Colorado instead of wanting to go to the Florida Panthers, and then he ultimately ends up on the Senators? Would he have been an Av all this time? Tim Stützle, who Sam Girard beat the shit out of tonight. Tim Stützle's a good player. Tkachuk's a good player. Dylan Cousins, former top 10 pick, is on this team. Like, there are some talent there. Thomas Chabot, Artem Zub. I mentioned Sanderson, who's on Team USA. Like, there's some dudes. Like, this team, there's young talent. Tkachuk is healthy. Tkachuk had been injured to start this year. Didn't fucking matter.
They got hammered, man.
8-2. And that's without Landeskog and Taves. I don't even count Blackwood because Wedgwood is as good. Imagine if Landeskog and Taves played tonight. 14-2.
It's probably something close to it. They were as good as they've been, as dominant as they've been. Now, this was as scheduled a loss as you can possibly put on an NHL schedule. Again, you have to have a 4.5-hour flight into Salt Lake. You play the next day. You get beat by a good team in the Mammoth. Like, the Mammoth there's a good chance the Mammoth are the 8 seed this year. And you might play them in the playoffs. They're good. I still think you beat them in 4 or 5 games, but they're not an easy rollover team, especially for an opponent like Ottawa. And for them to have to go into Colorado, second of a back-to-back after 24 hours, knowing that Colorado is coming in losing in consecutive regulation games for the first time all season. I tweeted out a picture of Joel Hofer, who was hiding from Jim Montgomery the other day when Jordan Binnington was about to be pulled and he didn't want to go into the net.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that until you tweeted it. And then I looked it up. That shit's fucking funny, dude.
It's one of the funniest things that's happened in sports. I say this year is 8 days long, but like in this, season, it's the funniest thing this season.
Yeah. And how about I saw somebody tweet tonight. Oh my God, it was something like the Senators haven't oh my God, the verbiage is going to be off, but it was something in terms of like since their mistresses did whatever they did.
That's a rumor, and the team did come out and say, hey, this didn't happen, and Omar's gone for personal reasons. Not great.
Let me read, bro, you led me through this in the Blitz tonight. What was going down with this Senators rumor, which I don't know. Whoever was posting, because I did some research on it, and the people who were posting about it, I don't know, they seem pretty adamant about it.
It's very much a rumor. It has not been founded, and the team did come out with an official statement saying, hey, he left for personal reasons. This rumor is not true. But again, that coming out hours before they have to play the Avs on the second of a back-to-back does not help them.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me pull this tweet up here because it was so good. But either way, this Linus Ullmark situation is very odd. He's on the leave with personal reasons, and hey, it could be serious. It could be. I want to make that clear right now. Okay, here it is. This girl's funny on Twitter at 29 Fleetwood Max. She says Sens haven't gotten fucked like this since they last saw their mistresses. Okay, God. That's really good.
God. You can't do
That's really good. So the rumor is, Raj, that Linus Ullmark would tell his wife, this is the rumor, by the way. Let me make this very clear. Rumor. Could be wrong. I saw somebody, because when I searched it on Twitter, somebody brought up, remember the rumor that Corey Perry fucked Connor Bedard's mom?
Correct.
I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Let me gather myself after saying that out loud.
I'm waiting.
That's
I'll wait. I have time.
It died. Nobody talks about that anymore. I forgot about it. Like, I was only reminded about it tonight. The rumor is, this is a rumor. Okay? Rumor. And fuck it. This is an entertainment show. We're going to say the rumor. Okay? Even if it's dead wrong. I'm not a journalist. Okay? Don't call me a journalist. I'm not. Okay? I'm a sports enthusiast. I'm a sports connoisseur. And I am an entertainer. That is what I am. Okay? The rumor is that Linus Ullmark would tell his wife, yo, all these other players on our team are cheating on their girlfriends and wives. And then from what I saw, Linus cheated on his girlfriend / wife and like threw everyone else under the bus in terms of like, oh yeah, well, they did it too. They did it too.
Yeah, and the rumor is that the leadership within the locker room went to the staff and was like, we need him gone. He needs to leave. We can't have this here. Again, it's all rumor. It's not unfounded right now. But it didn't necessarily look like a team that was cohesive tonight.
I've been wondering why I feel like the Senators are better than they've played this year. So I don't know if that rumor's true. Okay. Everything we just said, I want to clarify. I don't know if it's true, but they've underperformed this season. So that like actually kind of would make some sense as to like, why have you guys with a Brady Tkachuk, a Jake Sanderson, a Tim Stützle, all coming into their own?
Yeah, they have 3 Olympians.
Guys really kind of underperformed this year. So check out this statement from the Senators today on Twitter. They say, Our organization was extremely disappointed to read the completely fabricated and false stories that are spreading around social media about our hockey club. Linus is away from our team for personal reasons, and he has the entire organization's support. We ask that people respect his privacy, but clearly that request was not heard by the lowest forms of trolls and sick people who scour the internet. We are disgusted that outside forces are attempting to disrupt our hockey club. This statement will put an end to the ridiculous speculation that is spread online. Holy shit, that is the best fucking PR statement I've ever read from any professional team.
There's no way, regardless of if this has a shred of truth to it or not. There's no way you can get your head wrapped around, all right, we got to go play Colorado right now on short rest. Like it was a confluence of terrible situations for Ottawa tonight. There was no chance they were going to win this hockey game. Now they got close. They made it a 3-2 game. It was like 10 feet offside, and it was a great challenge from Bednar. But again, under no circumstances, even again, if that has zero truth behind it, this rumor that's been going around Twitter, even if it's not true, having that swirl around your organization and, maybe the boys know about it, the team knows about it, being like, what the hell is going on here on Twitter? Like someone needs to put something out. Your mind is not ready for that game. And you have to be so locked in, not only to go into Colorado on back-to-back after playing in Salt Lake, 2 games at elevation, but to go into the most hostile place in the NHL, a place where Colorado has not lost in regulation and has the 6th longest NHL home win streak in history. You're screwed.
Yeah, and like I was saying with Ottawa, like I feel like they've underperformed. I viewed Ottawa. Remember, I picked the Canadiens to win the Atlantic. And they might not. They've been there. They've been in the realm. But I was considering Ottawa. I was considering Detroit. On a low, I really wasn't considering Buffalo. Even
Patty
though,
Kane, 500 goals, 6th most all-time by an American. Scored 2 tonight.
Who?
Patty Kane. You mentioned Detroit.
Hell yeah. No, Patrick Kane. And look, Detroit. They've been good. I was really considering Montreal, Ottawa, and Detroit. Like long shot Buffalo. I like Tage. I like Rasmus. How I like Bowen Byram. But I really didn't think that, even though they've gotten red hot. And Buffalo's actually stayed red hot. Won in the Garden tonight. Ottawa was in that conversation, but they really underperformed. So I don't know, man. Like, is there something behind the scenes that has been going on? And even if this, like you said, this rumor is completely false, there's obviously something going on with Linus Ullmark. It's a personal reason, no matter what it is. But I'm just very surprised that they have played as lacklusterly as they have this season.
Didn't something similar happen in Ottawa with like Mike Hoffman?
Yes.
Does anybody in the chat remember that? Mike Hoffman, I think it was either in Ottawa or if it was in San Jose. I can't remember when it was. There was something weird about wives and girlfriends with Mike Hoffman. Is it just something about Ottawa?
Dude, I'm so glad you thought of that because I remember that.
It's an 8-2 game, and we're talking about the extracurricular lives of Ottawa Senators from 10 years ago, by the way.
Here's headline CBS News from 2018 in June. Mike Hoffman traded by Ottawa Senators after fiance accused of cyberbullying.
So Hoffman was traded away because they were cyberbullying Erik Karlsson's wife.
That's what it was.
What is in the water in Ottawa?
Look, when you live in Ottawa, like there's not much to do besides fuck.
Just because Eric Johnson curses on Altitude TV and KTVD, you're just going off the rails.
I'm just going balls out tonight.
BTP.
Like, let's go. But seriously, what else are you going to do in Ottawa? What else are you doing in Ottawa?
Oh my goodness. All right. Extracurriculars aside in Canada. 8-2 is unbelievable. The best game of Josh Manson's career. Did you know that there's never been a double Gordie Howe hat trick in NHL history? Manson was inches away from history when Brady Tkachuk was going after, Brent Burns behind the net. I thought he was going to drop the gloves again. It would have been the first time in history a player has ever done 2 goals, 2 assists, 2 fights in one game. The most points by a defenseman in a Gordie Howe hat trick game, 5 points. Manson has 4. His dad did it with 1 goal and 3 assists. Manson does it with 2 goals and 2 assists tonight.
Hey, I want to take this moment here to shout out a couple of friends of mine, Michaela and Chandler, who I got into Ball Arena tonight to see this Avs Sens game. And what a game. Like, what a game you get to go to. And you're treated with 2 of Stoney's finest, by the way. I want to say that. Stoney's Bar and Grill on 11th and Lincoln.
Stoney's rocks.
It's a fucking great place to watch the Avs, any sports you want. Michaela, Chandler, others, hold that fort down. They get to go tonight to a game where Josh Manson is dropping the gloves like 3 minutes into the game after who's this dude? Who's this jabroni? There was so much that happened tonight. I forgot this guy's name. I got it right here. Tyler Clevin.
Big
lays
dude.
A hit
big
on Ivan. You know I'm an Ivan guy, Raj. In fact, Ivan was net front. I think it was on that Brent Burns goal that bounced off of Shabbat, but it was Ivan who was bodying Shabbat up. Ivan had a good game for his brief moments tonight, but he gets, I think it was a legal hit. I do think it was a legal hit.
It was a great hit
by Tyler Clevin. But look, Josh Manson, he knows he's that guy. Josh Manson knows, look, Landeskog's hurt. Landy would be another potential guy. We were talking tonight before the game, dude. I did not realize, you told me this, that Curtis McDermott is on the Senators.
Yep. Is this not the perfect game for Curtis McDermott to be in the lineup? When you're getting bodied 8-2, you finally get to go, hey, dude, it's your time to shine in the NHL. They don't play him tonight. Dave Manson was in attendance.
That's crazy that his father was in attendance tonight. Dave Manson, longtime NHL assistant head coach. And Josh Manson, I mean, what a story. His mother passes away due to cancer. I mean, Josh Manson is such an underrated player.
Yep.
And when they extended him, what was it, 3-4 years? It was probably in about his $4.5 million ish range that he's been making. Okay, he's getting older. Do you want to commit that many years to him? And it's still not a cheap clip. It's not an expensive clip, but it's not a cheap clip. And this year, man, and it's not just tonight. Josh Manson has the whole decor. It took Gerard a second to get going, but the whole decor. And Taves hasn't scored much, and he's hurt now, but Taves has played well. Everyone, they played so well. Manson is so good. And like I said, Landeskog's out. So who's going to be? McDermott's on the Senators or in that organization. Who's the guy? Well, it's Josh Manson. Who's going to drop the gloves? Who's going to stand up for an Ivan? Even if it was a clean hit, fine, it was a big hit. Who's going to send a message? You just lost 2 straight on the road, and now you're back home. Send a message. Gabe Landeskog is all about sending messages. Like, Gabe Landeskog knows the timing and when to fire his team up. I believe Josh Manson did the exact same thing tonight, knowing that his team needed a little bit of a boost. He sees Ivan get hit. They just lost 2 straight. Let's drop the gloves. And holy shit, Josh Manson, those were some powerful right hooks and uppercuts. Oh my God, he unloaded on that dude.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic that they extended him. He signed that 2-year extension at 7.9 total. His cap hit is at 3.95 because his $4.5 million deal in terms of AAV that he signed after the Stanley Cup championship would have been gone this year. So he is signed through the year 2028. And he drops in cap hit next year, which is crazy, right? He goes from 4.5 down to south of 4 next season. Now, yeah, he's getting older. He's what is he? He's a 34-year-old defenseman, but he's going to have some stinkers out there, but he's also going to have games like this. Is he going to have another 4-point game with that a fight? Probably not. But he's going to have games that feel like this, that he was one of the catalysts to to a win. Now, I think they probably would have won even without him, but he was the guy that started off everything. He was the guy that started it all. He is integral to this team. I think he loves it here in Denver. You heard it in his post-game speech when he's talking with Rachel Toss. I love the extension. He is exactly what you need on this blue line. And honestly, it rubbed off on the littlest dude on the ice. Sam Girard goes after Tim Stützle.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you know that you're feeling it, is when Sam Girard, so some Senators player like breaks his stick and the puck is just at his skates and Girard's fighting for it. And then for some reason, Tim Stützle is like, that's not cool, even though, dude, you broke your stick. Like, Girard's just making a play. And Stützle comes over, but Girard immediately just says, no, let's go.
Let's do this thing.
Which is out of character for a Sam Girard. Hell, even Cale Makar late in this game gets into it with Lars Eller after Lars Eller like irresponsibly runs into Scott Wedgwood. And Cale wants to fight Lars Eller, but he knows he can't because his hands, his fists, his finger bones are too valuable.
They certainly are
to this team. Now, Girard has a little leeway because right now he's third D pair. You can fight, even though you're a smaller fella. And man, Girard held his own. Girard was actually like unleashed there. And Stützle is, a lighter forward. It's an even matchup. And Girard gets the better of it.
You know what I love about Sam Girard is the fights that he has picked in the NHL. Now, he's fought a couple of big tunas. He's fought Max Comtois, and he was in a scrum/fight with a real tough customer in Zach Ronaldo, who that dude could chuck him.
Sure.
His other fight in the league outside Tim Stützle, you know who it is?
I don't.
It is a like-statured player who's almost as small, if not tinier.
Alex DeBrincat.
Alex DeBrincat.
No way!
Yep. That's his only other fight in the league is Alex DeBrincat outside Ronaldo and Max Comtois.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
It has to be the shortest fight in NHL history.
Yeah, that's got to be.
I don't know how one would look that up, but there's no way there's two smaller dudes scrap it. It's got to be. Maybe back in the 30s or the 40s when just like humans weren't as large, athletes hadn't been, we're at the point where just like Vic says it all the time. Genetics are out of whack.
Yeah.
Maybe in the 30s
Evolution
there was like
happened,
a Dump Worsley and Glenn Hall fight.
Yeah. Oh my God. Girard versus DeBrincat. I can't believe I don't remember that. That's so good. But also, yeah, and I joked about this on Twitter tonight. Cale getting into it with Lars Eller. Look, man, Cale's also pissed because Lars and the Avs, Chris McFarland, Joe Sakic, they have been so good. They don't miss, except for once, or maybe another time or two that I don't remember. But the one I do remember, the one miss they have was Lars Eller at the trade deadline 2-3 years ago when they gave up a second. It was a second to get Lars Eller.
Yuck.
And I was excited about the trade because Lars Eller, he was on those Caps teams with Ovi. They finally won a cup. They were good for so many years. Lars was a good, underrated center for them. And I thought, okay, I get it. Giving a second for Lars until Lars Ellers did about as much as I could do.
Yeah, he was bad.
It was nothing. So I think Cale might harbor some resentment from that as well.
Yeah, what a great chirp you have too. Like, you did nothing. You were worthless for us. That's
Literally
all he has to
nothing.
say. We wasted a second round pick on your worthless ass. Is all Cale has to say to that guy. That's it.
Oh my God.
I saw Nathan Gerby got in a few fights when he was in the league, and he was like 5'5". So maybe if Gerby fought a 6-foot dude, it's probably a shorter total tail of the tape.
Okay.
Nathan
But
Gerby had
Girard
some hatred
versus
in him, man.
DeBrincat is all time.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch that on Hockey.
Oh my God.
McKinnon gets back in the scoring lead, a 4-point night. He jumps over Connor McDavid, who has another multi-point night. McDavid is on fire. He's got like 43 points in his last 17 games. He always does this. And we talked about this early on in the season. Just wait. There's going to be a stretch where Connor McDavid averages like 3 points a game, and he's in the middle of it.
Let's see what happened to Edmonton tonight. I saw they were down in Winnipeg, but tied it at 3, and they came back and won. Okay. You know, if you're Connor, and I've said this, you got to win. The Oilers have to win. Because, I mean, what the Avs are doing team-wise is insane. So even if Connor finishes 4, 6, I'll go even as far as 10. 10 points ahead of Nate. Okay, fine. You finished 10 points ahead of Nate. Great. Good for you. Look at what the teams are doing. And Edmonton, look, good comeback win in Winnipeg tonight. Winnipeg's also down. Winnipeg, I believe, is the worst team in the Central, and they are by far, holy shit, by 7 points.
Crazy, right?
Winnipeg has lost 11 in a row. How about that? That's the President's Trophy winner from last year. They have lost 11 in a row.
And Hellebuck's healthy now, isn't he?
Who?
Hellebuck's healthy now, isn't he?
Yes, he is. They are the worst team in the NHL.
Oof.
The Winnipeg Jets. They lose.
Maybe that's
Nikolai
why Scheifele didn't
Ehlers.
make the Olympic team.
Nikolai Ehlers signs with the Hurricanes, and I didn't see him replace him. It's amazing. And we knew, Raj, did we not know that Winnipeg was kind of a fraud last year, and the Avs beat him in 5 in the first round? Did you not sense that? I sensed it. That Winnipeg was not what they were.
A couple of seasons ago.
Was it not just last year that they were or was it a couple seasons ago that
it was
they were
2
the one
seasons ago
seed?
because the Avs lost in the first round to Dallas. Right, because Colorado and Dallas were the 2-3 matchup. Winnipeg was the 1 seed last year. It was 2 years ago. The Avs beat them in 5 games. They hammered Hellebuck, and then the Avs lost in 6 games. That was the Matt Duchene heartbreaker goal.
But it's been the same, whether it was 2 years ago when they won the Presidents or whatever it was when the Avs played them 2 years ago. And then obviously, yes, last year was the Stars first round series. Winnipeg's been largely the same team, but nobody took them seriously. Nobody. And then playoff Hellebuck is a thing.
Yeah, that's
so
not
nice
a team
win
that
for
I was
Edmonton tonight, but it is against the worst team in the NHL.
Do you think they can sweep this homestand? 7 games? Toronto's been playing a little bit better, but they're still a dumpster fire.
Let me pull the schedule up. But Raj, we said we were going to track the power play goals in this homestand.
Hey, 2 of 6, 33% tonight. You can't scoff at that.
Okay.
Honestly, when they put like Brindley and Kelly and Manson out there together, they snapped the puck around. I know Ottawa was like, just get us the hell off the ice, but they were snapping the puck around. Maybe that's the fix.
Are you talking about when they went with their PP2 as PP1 late in the game?
Well, yeah, because they went PP2 as the first power play unit, and they threw Josh Manson out there to run the second power play because they were trying to give him a hat trick.
Dude, I'm so glad they did that.
He had 6 shot attempts. He had 4 of them hit the net.
And I felt like Manson, like he had an early shot attempt. By the way, so nobody has ever had 2 Gordie Howes in a game, right?
Correct.
And I'm going to also believe that nobody has ever had a Gordie Howe and a hat trick.
No, that's happened many times.
That's happened many times. Okay.
Paul Coffey had a 3-goal, 2-assist, 5-point Gordie Howe hat trick in 1985 for the Oilers. Kirk Mueller had a 3-goal, 3-assist, 6-point hat trick for Gordie Howe hat trick in 1986. And Hall of Famer Stan Mikita had 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points in a 1970 Gordie Howe hat trick for the Blackhawks.
Okay, but you're telling me that it's only happened 3 times?
1, 2, 3. Coffey did it twice.
Coffey did it twice.
So 4 times by 3 players.
But we're going back to the 80s and 70s.
Correct.
Nonetheless.
Manson was the first defenseman, rather the first player, not even defenseman. He was the first player since 1988 to have a 2-goal, 2-assist Gordie Howe hat trick. The last guy to do that was Brian Leach with the Rangers.
That's still, I mean, even though he didn't get the Hattie, the actual Hattie, or the double Gordie Howe, which has never been done.
That would have been sweet.
Oh my God, just fight somebody, dude. That's all he had to do was fight somebody. And I know, like, it might have been out of form if Josh Manson is just like, yo, I need a fight to complete the double Gordie Howe. Can you do me a solid? Like, just go fight Brady Tkachuk. You know, Brady Tkachuk, he laid an elbow. He elbowed Manson earlier in the game. You could have just gotten retribution for that. But man, if Josh just would have just said, hey, wink, wink.
I think
Can we
Brady's
fight?
hand is messed up and he can't Soul Punch has this right on Twitch. His hand's messed up. He can't fight because he tried to get dragged into a fight the other day. And someone was like chirping him and he took his hand off and he showed like the bandages. He was like, I can't fight you. Like, I'm not allowed to fight you right now, but I would. Maybe that would have been the perfect guy. He's like, hey, dude, let's just like drop our gloves and kind of like slap each other a little bit and it'll count as a fight. And now I have history. They're both Americans.
I mean, you know, Stützle's fighting Gerard. Eller's getting into it with Makar. That easily could have been Manson. And he would have made history. But still, even the Gordie Howe and the Hattie has happened, and this is why you're the man. Finding that has happened 4 times, and you hear the names that Raj said; those are all legends. The fact that Manson was 1 goal away, and yes, Bednar putting him out there on that power play 1, quote unquote, in the 3rd period. And I'm just thinking like and I think there was like, I felt it as I watched it. There was a sense of get the puck to Manson at the point.
Yeah.
And I felt like Manson, he's such a good dude. And he's like, let's make the right hockey play. He's making these passes to the wing. And I'm just like, dude, no, shoot.
It's slap shot regatta, dude. You're out here for one reason.
We want a Josh Manson goal.
He slid one backdoor for Nichushkin and the crowd didn't boo. But you could tell the crowd was like, oh, what are we doing? He did laser a few at the net. A couple of them had some chances. A few of them were like pillows that Sogard saw and put away. Or did they? I don't even know if Ottawa switched their goalies even going in.
Yeah, they went back to Marilainen.
Okay, so Marilainen saw it and just like
how about that? They pull Marilainen for Sogard and then they go back to Marilainen. That's how down bad they were tonight.
What a game, dude. What a game. Everyone was feeling it. They don't have a really difficult homestand, man. This 7-game homestand, which is the longest they have this season, they get to see Columbus, who is outside the playoffs, Toronto outside the playoffs, Nashville outside the playoffs. It doesn't get hard until Washington, Anaheim, and Philly. I could see them winning all 7 of these games. If they win the next 6, they would extend their home win streak to 22, which would trail Detroit by just 1 for the longest home win streak in NHL history.
Wow. And, you know, I assume when Detroit did that, that was at the peak of their powers.
2011, 2012. So still very good.
Oh, 11, 12. Okay. So
Lidstrom,
maybe a little later than I would have expected.
But still great. Like still Lidstrom,
still your
Zetterberg.
Zetterbergs. Yeah.
Still great.
Yeah. Man, this team can do it. Like they're of that ilk. Yeah, even the Washington, Anaheim, Philly. I would go Anaheim 1. Most people might go Washington 1, but I'd go Anaheim 1, Washington 2, Philly 3.
Sure.
None of them are.
I can buy into that.
None of them are like going on the road to who is it? Carolina, Florida, and Tampa. It's not that. It's easier than that. It's easier than Dallas. It's easier than Minnesota. It's easier than Vegas. It's easier than Edmonton. Probably a couple other teams I could throw in there. Like, I do respect Anaheim, Washington, and Philly. Hell, even Columbus, who's coming up next, I respect. I respect Ottawa. But on different levels. I do agree that the back 3, the final 3 are the toughest 3. Yeah, this could easily be 7-0 because it's not Dallas, it's not Minnesota, it's not the 3-game East Coast road trip you just saw, it's not Edmonton, it's not Vegas. It's stupid, dude. It's stupid. Imagine if Landeskog and Taves played tonight. Imagine what that would have looked like.
It was the most predictable win of all time. I didn't think it was going to be 8-2. I had a feeling they were going to cover the puck line pretty easily. Now, the other 3 teams that are going to go on let's call it the elevation gauntlet between Colorado, Las Vegas, and Utah. There's 3 other teams on the docket for Colorado that are doing that. However, they're not going to see a team on the second leg of a back-to-back after Vegas or after Utah. Every single one of these teams that still remain on this 7-game trip that are doing that 3-game elevation gauntlet have at least a day of rest in between their previous game and when they come to Colorado, or they take on Colorado in the first of a back-to-back. So Ottawa got the short end of the stick here. Columbus is going on that stretch. Toronto goes on that stretch, and Philadelphia go on that stretch. Again, all 3 of those teams either have a day of rest before they play Colorado, or they play Colorado in the first of the back-to-back.
No, and I should mention, and you've obviously mentioned how Ottawa played in Utah last night.
Yeah.
And we saw a few weeks ago Florida play in Utah and then come to Colorado the next night. And the Avs just destroyed Florida.
It's impossible.
The Utah-Colorado swing, or Colorado-Utah. And you're right. You can throw Vegas in there as well. That is a gigantic ask. There will be a team that pulls it off. Shout out to that team, whoever it is. In the next some odd years, someone will pull it off. It's probably the toughest back-to-back in the NHL. Utah, Colorado, or Colorado, Utah. And if you want to throw Vegas in there, you can. But I would say specifically Colorado, Utah. And the Panthers failed massively. The Senators failed massively. It's going to be extremely difficult. Speaking of Utah and Colorado, your thoughts on the Winter Classic next year?
I teased it all morning yesterday. I had known from a few birdies within the Avs and the Mammoth organization that something fun is happening. Don't tell anyone, but it's Colorado and Utah in the Winter Classic. And I was trying to tease as much as I possibly could until that announcement came in at 4 p.m. Mountain. This is Gary Bettman's plea to make the Winter Classic great again. And it was a good event in Florida. It was not a Winter Classic. And the viewership showed. It was under 1 million people watching that game. Many hockey people that I knew, including, like, I think McGahey didn't know the Winter Classic was on. That's a hockey guy. I hardly watched it at all. It didn't feel like a Winter Classic. It felt like a Stadium Series game, and those are fine. Be my guest, do a Stadium Series game. I still think it cheapens the outdoor magic, the Stadium Series games. Like, they're going to do another one at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay in February. Next year, they're going to do an outdoor game at Jerry World. The Dallas Stars are going to host that in February of 2027. So when I heard that Utah was going to get an outdoor game, I went, Colorado's guaranteed to play in a stadium next year, right? They're either going to Dallas or they're going to Utah. Thank God it's the Winter Classic. Thank God it's in the mountains, and pray for snow at this point. I think it's the only thing that can save the magic and the allure of the Winter Classic is if you get a snowy ass game in Utah between 2 fun teams. All 32 teams around the NHL will have played in an outdoor game now at this point when Utah takes the ice in January of 27. I love it. I can't wait. I've already started lobbying our bosses for you and I to be there.
I'm glad you did on that final point you just made, because I was thinking if Raj and I could do Between the Pipes out in Utah.
I'm way ahead of you. I've laid the groundwork. I told them that we would drive to Utah. Like, if you guys don't want to pay for a flight, Spring and I'll drive.
I will fucking drive.
I'll sleep in the car. My sister's
care.
My sister and my soon-to-be brother-in-law have like an F-150 with a back pop-up trailer, like a camper that they're finishing. It will be ready for next year. I bet you, Spring, we could take that,
bro.
Between the
think
Pipes
of the
goes
content
camping.
We could produce.
Van life.
Also, look, it's that University of Utah Stadium with that mountain backdrop. And for that matter, I do want to say, I think Folsom Field would be a great spot.
Yes.
For one of these. in the future. And that's the thing that makes, whether it's the Winter Classic or the Stadium Series. And I do like what you said about how the Stadium Series might diminish the Winter Classic, because when there's oversaturation in the market, when there's too much, when there's several outdoor games per year, it just takes the specialness away
Yep.
from it. And certainly, like, okay, I understand, because you and I were freezing our asses off when we went to the Stadium Series game at Air Force Academy, Avs Kings.
That
That
was
being
so
said,
cold.
if the Avs would have been competitive in that game, if they would have won that game, it would have been worth it. There is something to be. They unfortunately they weren't. I don't think they scored a fucking goal in that game, dude.
They got shut out in that game?
I think they lost like 2-0, and like Tyler Toffoli scored twice.
I remember Tyler Toffoli scoring.
I swear they got like
Also, the
shut out.
jerseys in that game sucked.
Yeah, the jerseys.
LA's
were
jerseys
too.
were terrible. Colorado's jerseys were terrible.
But even though, look, it just sucked because it was freezing balls and they lost. We can accept the freezing balls if it's a better game. But that's the thing about the Winter Classic or the Stadium Series, is it really is supposed to be in more of a hockey climate. And that's not Miami.
No.
You know, that
It's
doesn't
not.
draw. Like, yeah, it's nicer for the fans in attendance, but it also is a television product. And what the viewer on TV wants to see is some sort of hockey-like conditions or a backdrop. That's why I really like the Lake Tahoe game,
It was wonderful.
because the backdrop was so good. I know that the ice melted and they had to fucking take a pause, because even though it was like February or whatever, you know,
Well, the sun was just
was
out. There was no cloud cover. It was beautiful. For that like period and a half,
Yeah.
though, it was gorgeous.
Oh, so that's like Lake Tahoe, there's a lake, the sun's out, there's a mountain backdrop. But the thing about this Utah stadium is, there's mountains right behind it. That's the thing about Folsom too. There's something about, if you're going to be outdoors, then give me a backdrop that makes me feel like this is different, this is special, instead of, oh, it's still a stadium.
Yeah,
like, what do I care?
You want it, if it's a stadium, you want it to be north and snowy and cold and feeling
Sure.
like you're out on a pond. If it's a stadium, right? The Big House, Wrigley when it was snowing, obviously the inaugural one in Buffalo at the Ralph. Like, all of those were great, especially at the Ralph. It was unbelievable. They'll never top the first one that they did. If you're not going to do that, fans want to see Mystery Alaska. That's the game they want to see. Now, you can't make the Mystery Alaska game every year because, well, what do we know about the NHL? The NHL is a gate-driven league. They make their money on ticket sales. So you have to find a way to get fans to that game. The reason why Tahoe worked was because it was the middle of COVID, and they were trying to find a way to make a great television product in an area where you didn't have fans. It was flawless. I would love for them to invest in something like that every year, but I wonder if it would lose them money, and Gary Bettman's not going to do something that loses them money. But what we want Mystery Alaska.
Okay, it's a gate-driven sport, sure, because if we're being honest about it, it's, 4 out of 4. Maybe it's 3 now. Major League Baseball has fallen off, which is crazy to say, given its history. But it's not the NBA. It's certainly not the NFL. So ticket sales matter. Gate matters. That being said, if you want to grow the sport, it is about the television product.
Yes.
And it is about what it looks like on TV. And so, okay, more people might be inclined to go to the game if it's in Miami because they know they're not going to freeze their nuts off. But why do I watch that? What's special about that as a viewer on television? I think that this Avs Mammoth game, that stadium, that Utah Ute Stadium, it's going to play so nicely on TV.
It might save the Classic.
It's going to look so good. And they also, Raj, they're trying to manufacture. Now, I get it. They tried to manufacture Utah, Colorado, the Utes and the Buffs in the Pac-12. And now the Big 12, I believe. The Utes are still in the Big 12 as Colorado moved there as well. Didn't quite click, but I get it. Utah, Colorado, Rocky Mountains right next to each other. They're trying to manufacture mammoth Avs as well.
Without a doubt. And the easiest way to get people to have eyes on your newest franchise is to have them watch a game in which your best franchise right now, again, just because of how hot they are in the regular season, it's the Colorado Avalanche. And imagine if Colorado wins a cup this year. How much juice will go. Imagine if Colorado wins a cup and they play Utah in the first round, how much juice that game will have next year. Like that's, if you could script it for the NHL, that's what happens. Colorado's the 1 seed, Utah's the 8 seed, and Utah gives them, a good run for their money in the first round. And then Colorado finds a way to win a cup. You get to market that for the first half of the season. Man, that's a dream come true for a league that's looking to revive their marquee event.
And look what, and I will give the NHL this. I know we complain about, and we should complain about the current playoff format because, as I have said, I think that the second round is going to be the Stanley Cup Finals. Granted, it's also somewhat a product of you can't really necessarily predict that the 3 best teams in the NHL are going to be in the same division, but they're trying to create division rivalries, with that 2-3 matchup. And then the winner of the 2-3 matchup playing the 1 seed in all likelihood in the second round, being in your same division. It's for division rivalries. Well, I get that. Okay, I get that because it does matter. If Colorado and Utah are the first round matchup, look at that Avs Kraken series. The Kraken are a very new team. And what are they doing to this day? They're booing Cale Makar. All it takes is one playoff series.
One hit.
And one moment. Or a hit, as you said. And the Mammoth hate the Avs. For God knows what reason. Maybe it's because Jack Drury hits fucking Clayton Keller.
I was gonna wait as long as it took. With?
And now, fuck you, Jack Drury. You're a piece of shit. And guess what?
Hey,
you got something.
The patrons in Utah won't curse at him. But I did hear they are selling alcohol at that game. So good for them.
Do they sell alcohol at Mammoth games?
I would think so.
Okay.
But I don't think they sell alcohol at Utes games.
Oh, college? Is that the thing? College in Utah?
That was asked at the press release. They're like, you guys selling alcohol at this game? And they went, yep.
You better.
It's about money for Gary Bettman, man.
Go back to what I said about what is there to do in Ottawa. What is there to do in Utah at a hockey game?
And ski.
Get drunk on booze. That's what there is to do.
Park it and soak for a bit. All right, it's going to do it for us before we get too far off the rails here. If you enjoyed this tonight, there are 2 more hours of me and Spring, not just about the Avs, but about everything that is happening around the world of sports. We will have reaction to Miami and Mississippi. We will preview the second of the college football playoff semifinals between Oregon and Indiana. We'll preview the slate of NFL wildcard games on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday because Mark Springer is filling in for Mike Sanford tomorrow. We will be live from 10 a.m. to noon on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. Avs get an 8-2 victory. Holy smokes, are they good. Next time we'll have Between the Pipes will be Saturday afternoon after a 2 p.m. matinee between the Avs and the Columbus Blue Jackets. For that man, Mark Springer, I'm Alex Ryanemi. Tune in tomorrow morning to 92.5 for the morning sprint with myself and that dude.
Avs 10 a.m. to noon. It's this show. You want to be there.
I always get caught. Did you guys just see what I tried to do? I'm on my laptop right now, and sometimes I'm on my iPad. I just tried to press my computer screen like 6 times. Why the hell is this not working? Goodbye.
Where's my touch screen?